Most people spend 6 months and $50,000 building something nobody asked for. And the scary part is, they had no idea it was coming. You can avoid that whole tragedy. And this year, there are smarter, faster, cheaper ways to know if your idea is real before you bet everything on it. The core problem isn't a lack of ideas. It's that we fall in love with our ideas the way we fall in love with people, completely irrationally, ignoring every red flag. Think of validation as the prenup nobody wants to sign, but everyone needs. Because the market is absolutely ruthless and completely indifferent to how hard you worked on your pitch deck. There's a reason so many startups fail within the first 2 years. And it almost always comes back to the same thing. They solve the problem people didn't actually care enough to pay for. The catalyst is almost always emotional attachment over evidence, which is a very human mistake that very few people admit to making until after the money is gone. The old playbook said, build it and they will come. And somewhere between 2000 and 2010, every garage entrepreneur thought they were the next Steve Jobs. Now in 2025, the tools to test before you build are so accessible and inexpensive that skipping validation isn't bold, it's just reckless. One of the lowest risk moves you can make is the fake door test, where you put up a landing page, describe the product with full confidence, and add a buy now button before a single line of code is written. If people click and enter their email or payment info, congratulations, you have demand signals. If nobody clicks, you just saved yourself a year of your life. The psychological twist here is that founders often don't run these tests because deep down, they're afraid of the answer. There's even a term for it in behavioral economics. It's called willful blindness. And it is shockingly common among otherwise intelligent, driven people who just really want their idea to work. Community wisdom from places like Reddit, niche Facebook groups, and Discord servers can be brutally honest in a way your friends never will be. Post your concept. Describe the pain point you're solving and watch whether strangers get angry or get excited, because both reactions are gold compared to polite indifference. A common misconception is that you need a finished product to test demand. But the most validated businesses in history started with a Google form, a Craigslist post, or a single awkward phone call. Dropbox famously released a demo video before writing a single line of functional code and collected tens of thousands of emails overnight. The product wasn't real, but the demand absolutely was. The actionable lesson here is to compress your feedback loop as tightly as possible, because speed of learning beats speed of building in the early stages every single time. Run small, cheap experiments, $100 on ads, 10 cold emails, 3 in-person conversations before you ever open a business bank account. Position size matters in business, just like it does in investing, which means don't quit your job, don't take the loan, and don't go all in on something that hasn't given you a signal worth betting on yet. Disciplined, unemotional strategy means you treat your idea like a hypothesis and the market like the lab, not the other way around. The irony is that the entrepreneurs who test the most aggressively and kill ideas the fastest are the ones who eventually find the idea that actually works. Failure in validation is not failure, it is literally the process. And confusing the two is what keeps most people stuck in the planning phase for years. History rhymes loudly here, and every major market shift from the dot-com era to the gig economy boom showed us that ideas which survive real contact with real customers early on are the ones that scale. The pattern is boring, repeatable, and completely unsexy, and it works better than inspiration alone every single time. At the philosophical core of all this is one simple truth. Your conviction about an idea is not a substitute for evidence, no matter how strong that conviction feels. Discipline, sizing your bets appropriately, and staying consistent in your testing process will always outperform passion without a process. The beautiful part is that being wrong early is cheap, and being wrong late is catastrophic. So falling in love with the testing ritual instead of the idea is genuinely the most protective thing you can do for your financial and emotional future. Comfort with any outcome becomes possible when you know your process is sound, because you're not gambling anymore, you're simply learning. And if any of this has you thinking about putting that validated idea into action, whether through real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding the right lenders to fund your next move, check out our links in the description below.